You guys are dirty and you're unprincipled, and I know it because I used to be a state attorney. So I know what you do. Do you think it's appropriate that he got more jail time than John Buomono, who had an orchestrated series of theft in office?
I'd like
Counsel?
to first make a statement.
Counsel, have you ever been accused of a crime before this?
Nope.
I didn't think so. Just checking.
I hear you.
How you feeling walking in there?
I'm feeling wonderful. How you doing?
Good. What are you going to say to them in there? Anything? You going to
I
talk?
don't have anything to say. My lawyer's going to say an awful.
I think that it was totally unfair to give a 70-year-old man who's done everything, who has dedicated his life to poor people of all races, 3 years in prison. But they can't stop him, but at the same time, it's just a conservative, capitalistic society, and we've got to change it. It's up to us to change it.
What do you think about the mayor's aide? I forget his name, the gentleman that got probation, I think he did, for dealing drugs out of the city hall.
Tell me about it. He got probation.
That this city will only have integrity when the working class people of all races come together.
Do you think Chuck Turner should get probation today?
I think they ought to drop the racist frame-up charges. Probation is, I'm embarrassed to say that I'm asking for probation. I think all charges should be dropped against him.
Do you think it's appropriate that he got more jail time than John Buomono, who had an orchestrated series of theft in office?
I'd like
Counsel?
to first make a statement. Today we are satisfied with the sentence and agree with Judge Woodlock that Mr. Turner needs to face serious consequences for his crimes. We strongly believe that justice could only be served if a jail sentence was imposed, and obviously the judge agreed. I truly hope that today's sentence and this entire investigation demonstrates to the public that no one is above the law. As our work continues and we proactively investigate and prosecute public corruption matters, I truly hope that the public's faith in our political and justice system can be restored.
Negative. What you have shown is that if you're a black man who has an agenda for social justice, that if he does anything wrong, after you targeted him nonetheless, if he does anything wrong, you will make sure that he does the maximum time while you give a pass to your white friends. That's what you have shown today, Counselor.
With respect to this investigation, the facts speak for themselves. There was a videotape, still photos, testimony, and then the convictions. Diane Wilkerson and Chuck Turner were each convicted of breaking the law and accepting bribes, and it doesn't get much simpler than that. During the course of this prosecution, there have been accusations of selective prosecution, racial discrimination, and unwarranted attacks on the government and its witnesses. The public good is not served by these divisive and inflammatory accusations. During this time, I did not respond to such attacks. Instead, I respected the judicial process, allowing it to play itself out. Today, I'd like to set the record straight. First, this investigation and this prosecution were never about race. We have a responsibility to the people of Massachusetts to ensure that their elected officials represent them honestly, regardless of color or race. Mr. Turner's claims were simply untrue and outrageous. I find it distressing and offensive that Mr. Turner, both on his own and through his lawyers, sought to deflect attention away from his own dishonest conduct by making speculative, disingenuous, and dishonest allegations against those investigators and prosecutors who were simply doing the job and following the evidence that was developed in this case to where it led them. I particularly took great personal offense to Mr. Turner's representations that he should be compared to some of this nation's greatest civil rights heroes, such as Rosa Parks. Mr. Turner is no Rosa Parks. He's a convicted felon who took a bribe and then compounded that offense by lying about it repeatedly, as you heard Judge Woodlock say in court, period. Secondly, I also think it's important to remember that this was an investigation of Diane Wilkerson that led us to Chuck Turner, led the government to Chuck Turner in the investigation, and as the evidence revealed itself. That is not selective prosecution. That is pursuing the evidence that the government took.
I'm very impressed with the rest of your investigation. You got so many people investigated. Look at all the convictions you've got. Oh, wait a minute. The 2 niggers. Yeah.
Seriously, and it also acted upon. Mr. Turner is the one who chose to commit a crime and then to lie about it, and in return he violated the public's trust that his own constituents.
What about Michael Ross's acceptance of money?
Hope that all of the citizens of this district can appreciate what this case is really all about, and that this sentence today sends a message to others that are similarly inclined, because this was a sentence that reflected not only what he did, but also the fact that he then lied about it repeatedly. And as I've said so before, we will aggressively and proactively pursue matters of political corruption.
Will you also pursue perjury charges against Chuck Turner?
Hey, let her talk. Gentlemen, you'll have a chance later on, please.
Will you pursue perjury charges?
No, I do not believe so. That perjury, the fact that he lied in court, the judge took into account in sentencing, and we are not going to pursue this matter further.
Who else are you prosecuting?
Thank you.
Do you think it was more appropriate? What about someone like John Buomono, who had an orchestrated series of theft in office and got less time than Chuck Turner? Do you have any comment about that? No comment? I didn't think so. The City Hall.
Tell me about it. He got probation. The mayor's aide. Probation for dealing drugs out of City Hall.
Yeah. And what about, did you know about John Buomono? He was the comptroller over there at the Middlesex Courthouse. $100,000 and a couple different counts, many counts, and I think he got 2.5 years.
2.5 years, right.
Right, so Chuck has more.
He gets more for $1,000. He gets more for 700 letters of people who love and support him.
Right. And lives that he's saved, people that he's helped in our community, young people. He has sacrificed his life for black people, for all people, really. Sacrificed his life.
And touched each one of us individually.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm not aware that John Buomono had any history of community service. He was just a thief who had an office in the, with the state and stole repeatedly a system of orchestrated theft.
Right.
And got less time than Chuck Turner.
Yes.
That's right.
I used to be a state attorney, so I look at this kind of stuff right now and I just shake my head and I say, look, if you are black, you have to be beyond reproach.
That's
it's not just
right.
not just black,
Right.
but it's black and ideologically based.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and they will come after you. They came after me when I was in the NAACP legal chair in New Hampshire. And Kelly Ayotte, the now Senator Kelly Ayotte. And I smoked them. But anyway, we're in court now because she threatens to arrest me every time she sees me.
Wow.
Really. Anyway, I've got to run, ladies. It's been a pleasure. KingCast.net.
All right.